Long ago, in a small village surrounded by a beautiful forest, there lived a poor woodcutter named Ethan. He worked hard every day, earning just enough to feed his family. Although he was poor, Ethan was known throughout the village for one thing: his honesty. One bright morning, Ethan walked deep into the forest and began chopping a large tree beside a flowing river. Every morning before sunrise, he carried his old iron axe into the forest to cut firewood. As he swung his axe, his hands became sweaty. Suddenly, the axe slipped from his grip and fell into the deep river with a loud splash. "Oh no!" Ethan cried. "That was my only axe. Without it, I can't earn money for my family." He sat on the riverbank, feeling helpless. Just then, the calm water began to glow, and a magical fairy appeared from the river. "My child," the fairy said gently, "why are you so sad?" Ethan respectfully replied, "My axe fell into the river. It is the only tool I own. Without it, I cannot work." The fairy smiled kindly and disappeared beneath the water. A few moments later, she returned holding a shining golden axe. "Is this your axe?" she asked. Ethan looked at the beautiful golden axe and shook his head. "No, ma'am. Mine is just an old iron axe." The fairy nodded and went underwater again. This time she returned with a sparkling silver axe. "Is this one yours?" Ethan smiled politely. "No, ma'am. That is not mine either." The fairy disappeared one last time. When she returned, she held Ethan's old iron axe. Ethan's face lit up with joy. "Yes, that's my axe. Thank you so much." The fairy was pleased by his honesty. "You spoke the truth even when you had the chance to become rich. Because of your honesty, I will reward you." She handed Ethan all 3 axes: the golden one, the silver one, and his own iron axe. Ethan thanked the fairy with tears of happiness. He returned home and told his family everything that had happened. Soon, the whole village heard the story. Everyone admired Ethan's honesty. But there was another woodcutter in the village named Victor. He was greedy and wanted the same reward. The next day, Victor went to the same river. He pretended to chop a tree and deliberately threw his axe into the water. "Oh no!" he shouted loudly. "My axe has fallen into the river." The fairy appeared once again. "Why are you crying?" she asked. Victor replied, "My axe fell into the river. Please help me." The fairy went underwater and returned with the golden axe. Before she could even ask, Victor shouted excitedly, "Yes, that's mine. Give it to me." The fairy frowned. "That is not your axe. You have lied." She disappeared into the river, taking the golden axe with her. She did not return Victor's iron axe either. Victor realized that his greed had cost him everything. Ashamed, he returned home empty-handed. From that day on, the villagers remembered the lesson forever. Honesty brings rewards, but greed brings loss.